Hi, Megan.
Hey, Devon.
Hello, Hockey Style listeners. Welcome back to another episode. If you're new here, we have a podcast all about hockey. There's three periods to each episode. The first, Megan and I give our thoughts on what's happening around the NHL. The second, we like to welcome in an industry guest to share their subject matter expertise and how they help shape the style of the sport we all love. And of course, in the third period, we wrap up and give you a hockey style tip. So make sure you listen till the end. If you haven't yet, go ahead and subscribe and give us a like. We are so glad you're here chatting hockey with us. So this week, lots to talk about. It is almost Halloween. Happy Halloween.
Happy Halloween.
Our last home game for the Detroit Red Wings, which we attended as always, was Saturday. So almost a full week before Halloween. And usually the last home game before Halloween, many people wear a costume. But because it was so far in advance, there was like maybe a dozen of us.
Mhm.
And yet I did come in a full Cruella de Vil, not just any Cruella de Vil, like the one from the last Cruella movie where she stomps onto the taxi cab and is wearing a black and red tulle skirt. And like, yeah, so it was a lot, but so am I. You
I
got
went as
out of
a
it.
normal person. Yeah, no, I just had too much to do during the day to justify wearing a costume, so I
Yeah.
was just regular. It was, I think, no, it was the second time I wore my Centennial jersey.
Yes.
So
And it looked so cute. You would have been right there with me, but you had a good excuse because you were
it was a busy
supporting
day.
supporting our cousin at his football game at Fort Field. So
Yes.
props to you. But it was a lot of fun. So what else happened that day? We ran into some interesting characters.
Yeah, I mean, we had a little photo line with the kids because we ran into Elmo, and yeah, that was a blast.
Okay, but if you're thinking that the Red Wings hired like an Elmo to be, no. This is our good friend who came dressed as Elmo in a Red Wings reverse retro jersey. So it was very
2.0.
red, 2.0, right? With the red and the black. And then his wife was Mrs. Rachel. I guess we don't have kids. So she explained she's
We're not good at it.
the
Yes.
YouTube star that apparently all the kids love. So they had kids like, oh my gosh, look. And then
Hmm.
all of a sudden we were just chatting with beverages in our hands. So that happened. But the kids like just started lining up. In Robert, our buddy, was just so sweet. He got down
He's
on
so
one
good
knee
at
and
it.
yeah, he gave
Yeah.
him hugs, took pictures, put his little head down so like you could see the Elmo eyes. So that was
Hmm.
funny. And then
Yeah.
you guys were talking, and I just happened to turn the corner and there's Darren McCarty. And
Yep.
that was so funny because the last time we chatted with Darren McCarty, do you remember when that was?
Sure was the last Halloween game
Yeah,
where we were in costume. Yeah.
I know. So I'm like, oh, hi again, Darren. Wow, last time you saw me, I was dressed like a lion. So, which thank God Darren McCarty loves Halloween. I think, like,
Hmm.
I don't know if he still does it, but he used to work at, like make a cameo at this big haunted house in Michigan that's very scary. So he's all about it. So I'm like, this is so weird, but I have so many pictures with you in costumes. I'm in the costume.
It's funny.
But he was great. At the time, it was between the first and second period. And what was the score at that point?
Oh gosh, it was horrific. There was
Four to
almost no point in
nothing.
going back. Yeah.
No,
Like,
four to
might as well
nothing.
stay
So
out
I
here.
said, Darren, like, let's go Red Wings. He goes, yeah, we got to play a little bit better. I said, you need to go give him a pep talk. He's like, I would if I thought that would help. I think that would have helped. Maybe he
Well,
did because something happened down there.
it all worked out in the end.
That was one of the craziest comebacks and fun comebacks I have seen in a very long time. There
Hmm.
was only a couple minutes left in the second. We were still down 4 to nothing, and we get back to back goals 30 seconds apart, maybe not even 30 seconds apart. And then we just dominated in the third period and ended up winning 6-4. So sorry,
Six
St. Louis
unanswered
Blues.
goals. Yeah.
We do like the St. Louis Blues, but not when you're
Yeah.
playing Detroit.
I really like the blue that they are using this year. It's just
Yes.
slightly off that royal blue. Like it's just a nice, I don't know, I like it.
You know what, I totally agree. This is hockey
Mm-hmm.
style, and I think it differentiates them from the other royal blue teams out there. But it looks so happy, if I can say, with the
Yeah,
yellow.
it just
It's
looked
like
really good.
sunshine and blue skies. No,
Hmm.
they look sharp. They played well until like Yeah, the third, we just really came back. We played like crap in the first. It was like we were phoning it in. So something was said in the locker room that lit a fire. And who knows? Maybe Darren stuck his head in.
Never know.
I bet he didn't, but it's kind of funny to think that immediately they picked up the speed.
Hmm.
So that was fun. Other things happening around the NHL. Lots of
Oh my
Halloween
gosh.
parties. Lots of
Yeah.
teams do it every year.
Hmm.
Um, and it's nice because this is a point in the season where, it's still we're still early. We can still say it's early in the season. So I think guys are still able to like take a little breath, relax a little bit in between all of the stress of the competition. And so many teams still did their annual Halloween party. The Red Wings, I wasn't like blown away by any of the costumes, but I was blown away by the event company that they hired to put on the event. Her theming was incredible. Did you get to see any of the pictures?
I haven't seen it yet, so I'm gonna have to go check it out.
Yeah, I can't recall the company. I'll have to post it, but she did a video and she did Welcome to Haunted Town instead of Hockey
Cute.
Town, and everything was themed, of course, the cocktails, everything. But what I loved that she did, and you have to really look close to notice it, she did a wanted poster for each of the guys, each of the players. And it was sort of like Prisoner of Azkaban vibes, like the dark, like, but they were wanted for things they were actually guilty of. So some of the some of the funniest ones that I noticed when it flashed by, um, DeBrinkets was guilty of only eating steak, always eating steak. Um, uh, Elmer Soderblom guilty of being a better DJ than a hockey player.
Oh,
Apparently, he's like a
jeez.
great DJ. I was like,
Jeez.
geez, oh Beats. But my favorite of all was Jonathan Berggren. If you know the story, he once admitted that he was trying to drive to Grand Rapids, either for a Griffins game or maybe the Red and White game. I don't know. He went to the wrong Grand Rapids, which is nowhere near the Michigan Grand Rapids. So his was Jonathan Berggren guilty of driving to the wrong Grand Rapids.
Oh my God.
So they went deep with some of these, but it looked like they had a good time. But did you see any interesting, fun, or cute Halloween costumes?
Um, nothing's really like jumped out at me, but I know comes back around all the time, all of Marc-Andre Fleury's amazing costumes. And by far my favorite that he ever did was the McLovin.
Oh,
So funny.
nothing will ever beat that because he looked exactly like McLovin. I mean,
He
the
really
thing
did.
I remember about Marc Andre Fleury is that first off, his wife must be just as awesome and funny as he is because
Mhm.
she, much like us, takes Halloween seriously in terms of like, oh no, 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 I'm not trying to be cute. Like I want a costume. So they always do a theme together. And some of my favorites, Marc Andre dressed up as a shrub and took all of like the lattice and fake greenery that you would put on a trellis fence in your backyard and built himself a full shrub suit. And she was Edward Scissorhands. Um, but the one I think they did most recently that was probably the best was they had their bodies spray painted gold, but like, yeah, did you see that one?
I
And they
did,
both
yeah.
had like she had a gold dress, he had gold athletic wear, and they actually carried around buckets spray painted, or maybe they were black, and they posed as tennis trophies. Um,
Mhm.
which was they looked like statues. I mean, when they
Yep.
posed, it was so good. He is so creative. I hope we see him back involved in some capacity again
Doing
this season.
something, anything, yes.
Anything. Official jokester. I don't care.
Yeah. Just send him to every arena and have him do something.
Yes. Well, we're clearly very excited for Halloween. If you hang with us till the third period, we'll give you a sneak peek of what our Halloween costumes are going to be this year. And of course, it goes without saying that they're hockey themed, so stay tuned for that. But before we jump into the third, we don't want to miss the second period because this is one of the most knowledgeable,
Oh gosh, yeah.
interesting guests we have ever had on the show. And we hope you will be excited to hear from him. Should we
Mhm.
jump in and give him an introduction?
I think so.
All right. We're pleased to welcome Brad Johnson, whose resume in hockey is very long and robust. He is an NHL pro equipment representative for Brian's Goalie Equipment, where he handles retail, college, and pro, and works directly with the likes of Igor Shesterkin and Aiden Hill on their equipment. But he also is the head coach of the Motor City Riveters Women's Hockey Club, formerly Little Caesars national champs.
Mhm.
He's the associate coach in chief for goaltending for Michigan, a level 5 hockey coach, and a mentor coach developer for USA Hockey. So, yeah, it's a lot.
Uh-huh.
How about we kick it over to Brad?
Let's do it.
Welcome to the second period and welcome, Brad. How are you?
I'm doing fantastic. How are you both doing today?
The same. Glad to be
Yes.
talking hockey.
It's sunny outside and in the 50s in October. We'll take it.
Oh, I know it, right? Like just this summer weather in the fall is tricking me because we're getting deeper into hockey season and it's still like, my husband wore shorts today. It was real weird.
I was up in Traverse City the first weekend in October and was on a beach in Glen Arbor October 5th and actually got a little
What?
bit sunburned. It was
Oh
85
my
on
God.
October 5th. I did not have that on my bingo card, a sunburn on October 5th.
Oh my goodness. Well, I will say that is an incredibly beautiful area. We love
Hmm.
Glen Arbor. I'm jealous you got to spend some time up there in early fall. But how did you ever, on that note, find time to get away? Because one of the reasons we're so excited to talk to you is because you have made hockey part of your life in almost every aspect because it's your career by day, your hobby, your passion with coaching. You really do so much. I don't think our friend Joe Messina was exaggerating from Second String when he said Brad lives and breathes hockey. He'd be great to talk to. So I wanted to ask you first, starting with your career with Brian's, how did you get involved in that, and how do you balance that career with all of the coaching work you do?
Well, it is a blessing to live in the hockey world 24/7, 365. With Brian specifically, so when I was at Western Michigan, I am a proud Bronco graduate. I'm proud of our national champion Broncos.
Yes.
But I went to Western and I lived there from 92 to '05. And when I was there, I had the opportunity to part-time work at hockey shop there called Golf and Hockey Services in Kalamazoo. I also coached the women's college team there in the ACHA from 97 to '05, which was kind of my big start into coaching and specifically coaching women's hockey at the time. But when I worked at Hockey Services, I had a sales rep. His name was Graham Watson. We became pretty good friends and stayed in touch. I got out of the hockey business, and every year we would have lunch, and he would kind of poke and prod me to get back into the hockey business. And every year I was like, I like my job. I'm good. I'm happy. And then after working in the corporate world for 10 years, I got a little bit burned out. And we had our annual lunch in Canton, Michigan. And when instead of him asking me or poking and prodding me, I asked him, so what's going on in the
Nice.
world of hockey and Brian's? And at the time, coincidentally, they were looking to consolidate all of their US sales reps and just have one US sales manager to cover all of US retail for Brian's.
Oh, wow.
And we went back and forth for a while. And then I ended up accepting the job, and that was in
Wow.
2014. So I'm now just over 10 years on the job with Brian's. And a couple years ago, I also took over all of our pro college and junior athletes as well. So I do
Yeah.
all of US retail, I do pro,
Yeah.
I do college and juniors. So
Wow.
that is a lot of work, but
Mhm.
it does leave me control of my schedule. I work from home, so I can work around my travel schedule, and I'm still able to work for USA Hockey as a coaching educator, doing coaching clinics and coaching the Motor City Riveters currently. Yes.
Yes. Oh, I can't wait to hear more about that. But first, you clearly had a passion for hockey, and which led
Mhm.
you to this incredible career.
Mhm.
How did that start? Did you grow up playing? Were you a goaltender?
I'm a miracle kid. So 1980, the Miracle on Ice.
Yes.
I was 6, and that really is what got me excited about hockey. My dad was a goalie, and I started skating quickly after that, and wanted to be a goalie the whole time. Eventually began to specialize in the position. And I was an okay goalie. It is what it is. I still play, and yeah, but
Oh,
I'm
cool.
also a towering 5'5" on a good day. So my prospects were limited. So as far as making that a career as playing goaltender, but I stayed passionate about it, and passionate about hockey. And if you're not going to play at a competitive level, but you're uber passionate about it, the next thing there is coaching.
Yeah.
So that's why I got into coaching very early in my college career, at the youth level, in Koha, the organization in Kalamazoo. And then, of course, also found my way. If I needed part-time work, I had worked at Played Again franchises for a while, Played Again sports
Yep.
franchises. But then when I had the opportunity to get a job in a hockey shop part-time while I was paying my way through college, I couldn't say no. And that had me sharpening skates and fitting people for equipment. So knee deep in it for most of my life.
That's incredible. You always found a way to keep involved in
And
hockey.
it kept coming back to me, right?
Yeah, it
Yeah.
did. It must love you back.
I hope so.
So you're unique because some of the other folks we've talked to who've played goal have mentioned that they didn't necessarily start out as a goalie, but maybe their team like needed someone to jump in net
Mhm.
or they just happened to be kind of good at it. But you actually saw the position and said, I want to do that. So that's
Mhm.
kind of cool that you had that instinct. What about goaltending attracted you to it?
Well, I obviously my dad being a goalie, that was part of it. So I mean, there, him telling stories, and he wasn't uber excited about me being a goaltender necessarily, but didn't discourage me from it. But I mean, that was part of it. And I don't know, it was like anytime we played pickup games on the pond, we would have our little makeshift goal, and nobody wanted to step in there with the group of kids that I played with. And I was like, all right, I'll do it. And like with handmade goalie equipment when we were really young, like before
Yeah.
we were playing on actual teams, and then getting hit with the puck and getting the stingers and the bumps and the bruises and the bumps on my bones and everything else, it didn't dissuade me from it. So
Wow.
then when the opportunity came to actually play competitively and get real equipment, I was there, ready to go, and loved every minute of it.
That's awesome. I agree, by the way. I have a sweatshirt that's like Webster's dictionary font and it says goaltender with the pronunciation bravest player on the ice. I like it. So, yes, I grew up going to hockey games, not playing, but my brother was a big defenseman in his time as a kid. And well, I should say small because he's actually quite short, but very talented. Megan's rolling
Okay.
her eyes because now she's engaged to my brother. So it all comes full circle.
Hmm.
But I never wanted to sit with the parents, so I always sat like on the side and just on the goal line and watched the goaltenders and just the discipline and the technique and the. I was a dancer, so I loved the flexibility and like just there's you are part of the team, but you're also on an island in some capacity. So I'm with you. I always thought that was really
Well,
interesting.
you didn't miss out because those parents get kind of crazy these days. So
I think
it's better to not stand or sit with the parents and listen to their craziness and go stand in your own spot and
yeah.
enjoy the game.
I think we've always been a little crazy though. My mom was the one who always showed up with the massive signs for like mini mite games, the big D and the white picket fence. So yeah, Megan, I think I got that from
Nice.
her. So all right. So Brian's is probably one of my most favorite pads to look out for in the NHL. Last season, Megan and I were talking about what we loved the most, and I chose Igor Shesterkin. The stripes that from afar kind of give you like that like little bit of retro tie-dye psychedelic look, but up close are that very structured design, and he implemented the red and the blue. That was so cool. How do you guys come up with or work with athletes to design that type of custom look at the pro level?
Well, Igor, so that's his main design that he's stuck with. And you'll notice when they do the outdoor games and when we do some special designs for our goaltenders as well for those specific games. But that's actually comes from the ceiling of the arena. So Madison Square Garden
Oh,
ceiling,
yes.
the structure, and when you look up,
Mm-hmm.
so that is a version of that. And it's became iconic. I mean,
Yeah.
people we do custom pads of those. I have multiple NCAA goalies at different schools that have mimicked that design with their school colors. And it definitely it definitely created a brand for him. It's very recognizable, and it is a just clean, sharp,
Yeah.
and aesthetically pleasing.
Yeah.
And he's a pretty good, he plays pretty well in them. So
Yeah.
he's happy with the design, and I love working with Igor.
That's probably one of the reasons that I loved them. And when you're watching a nice design make those incredible saves that are just unexplainable, it's just that much better, right? Megan,
Mhm.
you went to MSG with me. Did you know that they were
Oh,
emulating
definitely
the
not.
ceiling?
That's amazing. Yeah.
My mind is blown. So cool.
Very clever. Yes.
Yeah. Megan, you had another player that you
Oh yeah.
remembered
I
wearing
mean,
Brian's.
I loved how creative and how much fun and how many opportunities Magnus Hellberg had to design pads with you. And I mean, they were so much fun. I think they really got our attention in Detroit when he came. But even the ones that he did for Seattle were just, oh, they're so good. So was that mostly his idea, or did you guys help him with that?
So the Red Wing design was mostly his idea. We do a lot of internal design. We have both people in-house, and then we also have graphic design artists that we will tap into if our goaltenders do have kind of an idea of what they want. So we get some kind of direction, and then we can kind of turn it over to either our internal or our external graphic artists to make them what they are. Magnus's Red Wing pads are one of the favorites that I've done since I've been with Brian's. They were so simple and so clean. And Magnus is just such a high quality human being, as you like, one of the nicest
Yes,
humans on the planet.
truly.
Unfortunately, most people don't ever get the chance to meet these athletes and talk to them. And unfortunately, Magnus's time here was very limited in Detroit. But from dealing with him, he's such a nice person. Always awkward when I would go see him, especially when he came off the ice being 5'5",
Yeah.
and when I would see Magnus when he would come off the ice still on his skates, just a massive human being, and I would have to have a whole conversation with him just like this.
He's a real life
But
Viking.
besides that, such a great guy, and it's just so much fun to work with him. So when you are able to combine that with the quality design, and the design ideas, and he's so passionate about his gear as well. It was just so much fun to be a part of that, and yes, we got a lot of social media hits, and so did the Red Wings for him. So
Nice.
Didn't you
I
guys
wish he
do?
was I wish he could have been here a little bit longer.
Oh, me too. He really was fantastic, like, just a great guy. And didn't you
Yeah.
guys do the little set of pads when his baby was
We did.
born? Oh my
So we
gosh,
do
so
do
sweet.
yeah, we do mini baby goalie pads. And they're available for everybody. It's not something we advertise a lot because it does take time to build them
Yeah.
and out of our production time. But yeah, any of our NHL guys when they have additions to their family, it's something that we're happy to do for them. We just did a set for Aiden Hill and in
Oh,
Vegas because
yeah.
they just welcomed a new member to their family. And it's something that we continue to do, and they're really cute. We'll put the they're real. Like they have like a
Yeah.
back to them, they have a calf wrap, they have a knee strap, and we
Oh,
put on the calf wrap the name and the birth date of the kids, and it's just something great that they can have forever. And typically what we'll do is we'll mimic the design of what dad's wearing in the NHL. So it's a cool thing. I love doing it. I love getting the pictures back once they get them.
yeah.
It's another nice thing that we can do for our goalie family.
Much more unique than a baby blanket. I love it.
Yeah.
Brad, just so you know, you are in very good company because Megan and I tower at 5'2", and all of the goaltenders we've had on the pod thus far, Joe, Zach, the second string. I think the tallest one is 5'5". So,
Yeah,
we love
Joe
a short
Exec, we're
goalie.
in the same club. We're all in the same club.
So don't you worry about that. They make scalable pads and equipment. It's all
Oh,
good. It's
absolutely.
all good.
Absolutely.
All right. So this season we have a lot of young goalies coming up into the NHL, right? And they just seem to be getting bigger and bigger. Speaking of height, and the equipment now is just works of art, but also technology. There's so much to consider in the
Mhm,
build and the design. And I know
mhm.
that changes quite rapidly. So I would love to get your thoughts on what are some of the trends in equipment that we're seeing right now, at the collegiate and pro level, and what are some of the things that you think we should keep our eye out for as fans looking in as we notice all this great equipment.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, like the technology's reached a point where the innovation, like everybody is kind of, we're all within an ounce or two of everybody in weight.
Okay.
We're all in the same area of rebound, rebound hop is what we call it off the pads. So to a
Okay.
little bit of history, back in the day, goalies wanted pucks to hit their pads and just drop and sit in front of them. Pads were really soft
Okay.
because they played a stand-up style. Hit the pads, drop in front of you, cover the puck, get a whistle. Now the position has changed so much with it's just more athletic. The NHL a few years back came back and kind of cracked down on the size of the gear
Mhm.
because there was really no controls on it, and guys were kind of wearing massive gear to get an edge. And so the gear became smaller. They have restrictions on size based off of a body mass index and height, weight, all these things
Okay.
that restrict the size that the goalies can wear. But the result of that has been we've just come up with new materials and with technology. So the stuff became lighter. And now the goalies are just more athletic. They can move so much better. Now instead of wanting the puck to die, goalies want to boot those pucks out into
Mhm.
areas where there is no trouble. And so rebound control, being able to place your rebounds where you want them to go. So that's kind of how the technology's changed. Now we're kind of at a point where, the next greatest thing that's coming, like the stuff's so light now, it's like you can't really make it any lighter without just making it not good quality.
Okay.
I mean, one of the things that really separates, I think, what we do and a couple of the other companies is still making it in North America. We have the advantage of the materials that we can get here and the high quality labor we have here and make a product that's more durable than products that are made overseas. But everybody's using very similar technology.
Okay.
And again, that technology has allowed the players to change the way they play, and the goaltending position has now become, a lot of down on the ice, a lot of what we call the RVH or sealing the post down, and you
Okay.
guys see a lot of the highlights of the goals going over goalie shoulders. And I think we're kind of at that phase where some things might be changing here with how the game's played on the goaltending side, because every time you get a trend that everybody does something the same way, scorers figure out a way to take advantage of it. And then we as
They do.
coaches need to start coaching in different ways to challenge the shooters more. And I think we're kind of there right now with some of what you're seeing with the way goaltenders are playing and the way goals are being scored. I know as a goalie coach and being part of Goalie Nation with USA Hockey, it's something we talk about all the time. So I think we may be starting to see some things. And you mentioned also taller goaltenders. We're seeing that trend also coming back where scouts are looking at guys that are 5'10, 5'11, under 6 feet, where if you were under 6 feet, you weren't even getting a look. Now, if you're athletic, you can move, you can make a save, they'll look at you. So it's a little bit more about how you play the position than your size, which is a good thing.
Yep. I saw last night, very late, so forgive me if I butcher this, but I think it was Carl Lindbom make his
Mm-hmm,
NHL debut as
mm-hmm,
goaltender for the Vegas Golden Knights. It was great. His mom and
mm-hmm,
dad were there, his girlfriend, and
mm-hmm.
it was his first. And he played incredible. I mean, they
Yeah.
lost, but the game was so. But watching him just come up, first game in the NHL, what he was able to do from a standpoint of athleticism, I think, like you said, there's this whole new class of kids who are playing the game with a little bit, I don't want to say more energy because that's not the word, but like dynamics, like they're up and
Mhm.
down. And so it's going to be really cool to see how the goalie equipment market answers that call while still keeping, the veterans happy who are already so established and good at what they do.
Well, you want to make them lighter, more athletic, but not compromise that protection. So
There you
again,
go.
that's what I was saying, where if we make stuff lighter, it's great. But if they're feeling, when pucks are coming at you at 100 miles an hour,
Right.
it's got to protect you. So
Yes.
so there is that balance. And yeah, that was a great performance.
Yeah.
So and you gotta just tip your hat and be happy for a kid when they get their chance and take advantage of it, because there's so many goalies playing in the minor leagues, putting in so much work, and they're
Yeah.
good enough. They're just either never going to get the opportunity, or if you get that one opportunity and you don't take advantage of it, it may never come back again. And
Yeah. Yeah.
so that's really good to see, and hopefully it turns into a long career for him.
Absolutely. We were listening to an interview of one of our favorite goaltenders recently who said, there are 64 jobs in the NHL, really 32 if you want to be the starter.
Right,
So that's it.
right.
Not like being a winger where you might even be able to play center. Like it's very limited. So props to them for the highly competitive world that they live in. But
Hmm.
speaking of, we both agreed we love Mike Richter growing up. Who are some of the athletes that you are most excited to watch play in today's world?
Oh, in today's game, I
Mhm.
mean, I love watching our guys, of course. And when you're in the business, you got to spend a lot of time watching the guys and staying in touch with them and making sure everything's working the way they want it to work for them. And again, Brian's being a small company and not having the financial means to pay a bunch of guys to wear our gear all over the place, including at the college level now, which is now a thing as well.
Mm.
But I am really excited to see, as you mentioned, the next class that's coming up, and the
Mhm.
next group of goaltenders. We have some great young goaltenders in our group that are coming up from college. Arseny Sergeyev, who just played at Penn State,
Oh yeah.
and they made it to the semifinals last year. And he's in the Calgary organization. He's a great young goaltender, great kid. And I love working with these kids and then helping them to get along to that next pro level, because, when you're a college kid, like you've got so many different things that you're balancing.
Yeah.
But yet the athletic side, it's you're basically a full-time pro athlete, but you also got to go to class, and you got to
Yeah.
get the work done. And then that transition, when you're able to go pro, your focus is pro, your focus is the
Yeah.
game. And it's really fun to see some of those young goaltenders make that transition from the NCAA or from major junior hockey, and then they get their pro chance. But with our guys, I mean, it's been really fun. Our main guys, the NHL, be it with Aiden Hill and Igor, as we mentioned, and Jake Allen and Carl
Oh yeah.
Vejmelka. and
Jake.
and I think we were talking about design earlier. We cannot not mention Carl's mammoth pads this year,
Oh my
because I do
gosh. Yes.
believe those got more hits on social media. I'm not sure if they were our highest hit, but they were one of the highest hit designs to go on social
Yeah.
media. And the funny thing about these guys, and the on the girls side too, in the NCAA and then the PWHL, they're I handle retail too, as I mentioned, and they're no different than the beer league goalies I deal with when it comes to equipment and being human beings. Like, they want the
Yep.
gear to work
Yep.
for them. They have things that they want, but they're just human beings, and they're people
Hmm.
just like you and I, and they love playing the game, and they have that passion. And making their gear for them is my contribution to that, right? Like, being able to have that interaction with the athletes, and being able to make sure that what we make, our fine crafts people that we have at our factory, everything's handmade, is really
Oh wow.
fun. And being a small company, we're like a family. All of our goalies are
Yeah.
part of our goalie family, and we're invested in them, and they're invested in us.
I love that. You remind me of the Second String Leather Company in that standpoint. Like once you're in, you're part of the family. I love that. So Megan and I are both Vejmelka fans. I'm so glad you brought him up because holy moly, what is going on in Utah? What are they 9-game win streak right now? And he
Yeah, they're
looks
riding the wave,
phenomenal.
eh?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I saw
yeah.
a joke on social media late last night about it's all Tusky. They launched Tusky and now they can't lose. So knock on wood.
Yep.
There's some
I saw
magic to
that
the
little, did you
mascot.
see did you see the ice cube out on the ice and did
Yeah,
you see the actual, yeah, I thought that was kind of cool.
it was great.
But Carl's an example of, again, going back to the design, Carl's an example of he, instead of coming to us with, I want this, like he didn't come to us and say, I want a mammoth design. He is
Mhm.
very open. He kind of, we designed a graphic specifically for him a couple years ago with Arizona. And then, that for this year's set, he was like, I want something new and different. Throw some ideas at me. And so our design team in-house took the mammoth and came up with 5 or 6 different designs with the mammoth on the pads and sent them over to him, and he picked that one, and that's how he got it. It's pretty much that simple. But as we mentioned before, some come with ideas and some say, send me ideas. And then we have the freedom to throw all kinds of stuff their way to see what fits their personality and makes them feel comfortable in goal and happy and excited to play.
I love it.
So fun.
If I weren't going to burden Megan with this crazy edit, I don't want to do that. So I'm going to do the poor man's version of showing everybody an image of what we're talking about on Google. So if you're watching on YouTube,
So
you can
good.
see my phone just because these are so cool. Because from afar, it just looks like we're talking about Carl's pads, right? Vejmelka's pads. They just look like a really cool design, but then you realize they are two mammoth facing each other and it's the perfect symmetrical split. But the colors, I mean, this might be my favorite of the year. We'll see. Right.
So the other thing that's important to mention is, our competitors, or a few of our competitors, use high resolution printing technology now. So they print, like they have a printing machine that they run a much thinner synthetic leather through because it has to
Okay.
be thinner material to print that way.
Mhm.
And so you can do cool things with gradients and colors. All of our graphics and our products are hand cut and sew. So when
Wow.
you
Good.
look at that image, those are all layered pieces of material that are all hand cut and sewn in our factory. So
Yeah.
the craftsmanship and the high resolution printing is fine, but at the end of the day, if you look at something hand cut and sew next to something that's
Yeah.
printed
Oh,
on the material, there's no comparison. The hand cut and sew stuff just looks so clean and so high quality.
yeah.
So it's important to mention we've got our unlike anybody in the business, the people who work for Brian's are amazing.
Yeah, it's incredible. It's so gorgeous, and I haven't obviously got a chance to see Veg Milkus up close, but not to go back on it, but the hand work done on Hellberg's Detroit pads, like those were so intricate and so beautiful and so incredible to see up close, like just amazing.
Yep. Yep.
You're definitely on the right podcast, Brad. we debated about our name for a while and we're like, why are we overthinking it? It's hockey style. Like we have such an appreciation for that level of detail to the fact where we really wanted to get centennial jerseys this year for the Red Wings and debated about where to order from because Megan pointed out like, well, maybe one, has the letters directly hand sewn onto the jersey versus the name bar. Like,
Hmm.
you're our people is where
Hmm. I got you.
but I'm
Yeah, and the
embarrassed to say,
Centennial stuff across the board this year, all the teams,
okay.
so cool.
Yeah.
Really cool stuff. And I mean,
Mhm.
if you saw, like we did the set for Igor, where it's like a cream color base to
Yes.
match
Mhm.
with the retro blue and the NY and everything else. Like, I mean, and I love that the league did that, and it also gives us the opportunity to do what we do best and do something new and different.
Yeah.
So a lot of fun to be a part of those projects as well. I
For
love the
sure.
Red Wing ones though. Those jerseys are so
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah. And with the brown goalie equipment, it looks sleek. It really does take you right
Yep,
back, which I guess was the
yep,
goal there.
yep.
So, pun intended. So we've been talking a lot about Brian's and equipment, but you also dedicate so much of your time to other areas of the game, especially through coaching today. In fact, we have to let you go relatively soon because you're even coaching tonight. So
Correct.
it never
Correct.
stops. So we wanted to talk a little bit more about that in general. So Megan, I'll hand it to you to kind of kick us off.
Yeah, I mean, it's honestly so impressive, all of the things that you do, and I don't even know where to start. But one thing that I really liked and kind of doing a little digging and thought was really fascinating was you were the 2024 Hockey Goaltending Growth Award winner. And
Oh,
I really
wow.
loved everything that you were talking about and what I read and incorporating more goalie stations into just regular learn to skate programs instead of doing the standalone goalie events. And also, I was fascinated by the quick change gear and what that's like and what you're doing for the kids when they're coming to these events.
Well, I'm glad that anytime if you've read when I was interviewed about that, or if you ever meet me, my passion is growth of the position. So yeah, I'm the associate coach and chief of goaltending for Michigan with USA Hockey. And currently where that leads me, it leads me both into an educational realm where I try to make all of our coaches better coaches to our goaltenders. Because for those of us that grew up, the goalies were the ugly stepchilds of the goalie. We gave beginning of every practice was the same. You get 10 minutes with a goalie coach to work on movement, and then your puck dummies the rest of practice. And that's what chases kids away from the position, and that kind of world. And what we're trying to do is create a world where every activity on the ice is just as quality for the goaltenders as it is for the forward and defensemen. But more importantly, at the grassroots level, we want to create more opportunities that are high fun, zero stress for kids to get into the position, because we do have a shortage of goaltenders in youth hockey. It's gotten much better over the last 5 years. But what we want to do is we don't want kids specializing as goaltenders until age 10 at the earliest. That means
Oh,
6, 7, and 8. We have that quick change gear so we can get kids in and out of the position in a minute and a half. It goes on right over their player gear. And we want kids to play goalie at those younger ages, but they need to skate out. They need to improve their skating. What we say is hockey player first, goalie second. They need to learn the game. They need to be quality skaters. They need to understand the game. And when you take a kid that's 6 or 7 years old and you throw them in net for an entire game, generally one of two things happens. They give up like 14 goals because they've never played before, and then they leave crying and they never want to play
yeah.
again. Or it's the other side and they don't face a single shot and they stand there for 30 or 40 minutes and they're not developing as a hockey player
Yeah.
because they're not doing anything. They're looking for their parents in the stands,
Yeah.
and we want all kids to play goalie until age 10. Then we want kids, at 10, 11, and 12 to start really specializing in the position. It's a big culture change in our sport. We've
Yeah.
been working on it for years. Michigan, we've been really working at it really hard. We have the second highest growth numbers in the position at youth hockey. And yes, I've done a lot of hard work with that, but that's also a testament to all of the associations in Michigan that have bought in, even though it meant having some hard conversations with their, what I like to call dinosaur coaches that don't want to be open to changing culture,
Yeah.
and really making their coaches do these things. And we've seen a real significant growth in our youth goalie numbers, and we're going to keep at it.
That's so incredible. I love it for sure. I'm just fascinated by like how did the idea come to do the quick change gear? Like just out of necessity or
Yeah, so coincidentally with Brian's, one of our designers who's no longer with Brian's, I believe it was Total Hockey, which used to be a retail chain, came to us to design something, and it later became something that Pure Hockey had after I mean they did a product with Total Hockey, and then Pure Hockey bought Total, and they then had their own quick change gear. But then our frenemies over at Vaughn, based here in Michigan, in Oxford, Michigan, our frenemies over there. I'm buddies with everybody that works there. We get along great, but they came up with a significantly superior quick change product. They look like high end pads, so the kids love the look. They're great. They perform well. And again, you can get kids in and out of them in a minute and a half. There's just a padded jersey you put over their shoulder pads, a glove and a blocker, and leg pads. At that age, those younger ages, they don't even need to use goal sticks because goal sticks are big and clunky. You just throw them out there with their player stick. And then now Bauer has a version that they sell through Pure Hockey that is good. The Vaughn stuff's better. But the Bauer stuff still works. And the idea is it doesn't need to be really high tech. It just needs to be something that doesn't dissuade coaches from doing that work of getting kids in and out of the position. We have to make it quick and easy for the coaches to do it. And then also for the kids, once they're in there, that the stuff's not all falling off of them, or you know what I mean? Like it's got to be functional too. And I think both Bauer and Vaughn have products out there now that get that job done. And it's economical. It's $299 for the full set, which
Okay.
if you're not a goalie person, that might still seem like a lot of money, but in the goalie world, that's not a lot of money. And we have at USA Hockey, we have opportunities for grants that associations can apply for grants. Everybody who plays in USA Hockey pays a registration fee every year, and some of that money goes back to your district that you live in. And that money goes to those kinds of grants. So associations can actually apply to get some money for that quick change gear so they can have it available to their kids.
That's amazing. You've thought of all the angles.
We're trying.
Can I ask a silly question to interject really quick, Megan? I've always, because you mentioned that the kids are playing with their player sticks. I would shoot right-handed, but if I put on goalie pads, which I've never played goalie, but innately, I hold the goalie stick left-handed.
You shoot opposite-handed if you're a goalie.
Okay, so I'm not. So how does that work? If the kids are they kind of learning the goalie stick backwards then, or does it not matter?
Well,
at that
no,
stage?
it's that we're not really focused when they're just trying the position. Like stick play is a little bit more advanced in the goalie position, and so we really don't like the biggest problem with a goal stick when the kids are really small is, again, it's big, it's clunky. And it's just another thing. If you're quick changing kids in and out, it's another thing you got to deal with. When I do try goalie for free events at associations, and I take the stuff with me that we have with the Michigan Amateur Hockey Association, and I'll show up and they'll have this stable of these old wood youth goalie sticks, and they'll have like a stack of them. And I'm like, I don't even want those. Don't need them. Just let the kids use their regular sticks. Because right now it's just about making saves and high-fiving them every time they make a save, and picking them up off the ice and doing whatever you got to do to make sure that they have fun. And Megan, when you mentioned the point about adding the tri-goalie stations when we're just teaching them how to play hockey, so in what's called learned play, which is before they move on to 8U hockey, they're not afraid to try it then because we've exposed them to that environment and it's super fun in the environment that we provide. So then when they're an 8-year-old actually on a team and you ask them to put the pads on, it's not like the first time they've ever done it. And they had fun the last time they did it. So it's a lot easier to get kids to do that when they're actually on a team if we expose them to it at the earliest levels, and it's so much fun to work with these kids, man. Like the first time a kid makes a glove save, and actually holds on to the puck in their glove and it stays in the glove, like it's just a moment. And you get all these parents who are like, I don't want my kid to be a goalie, it's too expensive, and then their kids in net and they're on the glass with their cell phones taking pictures. And so I mean, we got to break down those barriers, make parents not afraid of their kids playing the position, and make sure the kids have fun when they do it. And if it's all about fun, it's easier to get them to do it, and then they fall in love with it and stay with it.
So when the next generation of hockey goalies comes up and there's twice as many, maybe 5 times as many, and it's super competitive, we'll remember this conversation. Brad, I think it worked.
Yeah. Hey, what a problem to have. I'd always hear
great.
from coaches here in Michigan and be like, I've only got one goalie. Do you have any other goalies that you know that aren't on a team in my age group? And now I'm getting messages from coaches that are like, we have 3 goalies this year. How should we split up the ice time? And it's like, hey, what a problem to have.
Yes.
So that's showing that it's working. So
Yeah.
we're gonna
Yep.
keep at it.
Hey, there's some NHL teams right now who would love to have you hook them up with a goalie.
Well, goalies can't back in the day you used to have in the NHL guys that would play 70 games. You'd have
I
a
know.
starter and truly a backup goalie, and that's just not the world anymore. You need somebody to play 30 or 40 of those games. So it's really a 1A, 1B instead of
Yep.
a 1 and a 2 now.
Mhm.
And all these teams with injuries and everything else, you're seeing 3 to 4, sometimes more than that on these teams that are getting significant
Mhm.
playing time in the goalie position. So we're going to need that stable of high end goaltenders as we move forward.
So true.
Yes. And in addition to all of this, I can't believe I can also say that you are also the head coach of the Motor City Riveters Women's Hockey Club, which is
Yay.
amazing. All of those girls seem amazing too. So I admittedly don't know too much about it. So I would love for you to tell us about it.
We're super excited. We are brand new as the Motor City
Mhm.
Riveters. The last few years we were playing for Little Caesars, and for years
And win a
before that
championship.
we were Victory Honda.
Yeah.
And but we've had now a core group of girls that have been together for quite some time. We've won 2 national championships. We won one in 2018, and then we won this year as Little Caesars. And we won in about as dramatic fashion as can possibly happen with our goaltender doing a butterfly slide across the crease with 1.6 seconds left, knocking the goalpost off with her skate, and the referee deemed that that was intentional and awarded a penalty shot to which was taken by the Carolina Hurricanes player who played as a former U.S. national team player. And
What?
that would have tied the game and sent it into overtime. And she came down and rang the puck off the crossbar. And our goalie looked at the camera and went,
Ah!
and
Oh my
they
gosh.
rolled the clock off, and we won our second national championship. So
Oh,
Amazing.
yeah, it was a phenomenal weekend. Our that I could go on and talk about that forever, and I won't. We did go undefeated in the tournament, but we had 2 overtime games, or 1 overtime game, or 2 overtime, one shootout in
okay.
our first 4 games. And then we had to play Carolina again to win the national championship. And they're a phenomenal team.
Yeah.
And we've had a long rivalry with them. And there's a team here, Bell Tire, that we have a huge rivalry with.
Yeah.
We've exchanged national championships. You asked me about the plaques up there. Those are all from back when we used to play in the state tournament, and it was always either Bell Tire and we were
Mm-hmm.
runner up, or we won and Bell Tire was runner up. It's been a really fun competition over the years. All those girls on the Bell Tire team, most of them played together at Adrian College. They're like an Adrian alumni team, and they won national championships at Adrian, and they're still going at it. And our girls are more of a potpourri of players from all
Yeah.
over. We've started to tap into Trine University. Some girls that I
Oh yeah.
coached
Mhm.
when they were younger went on to play college hockey and have now come back to play for our adult team. But the exciting thing about the Motor City Rivers, though, is that we are now under the Michigan Warriors umbrella. They offered to sponsor our team and want us to help more to create opportunities for female players in general, which we've been doing, but also on the veteran side. So they, in the next 5 years, would love to have a Michigan Warriors women's team of female veterans. They have a few
Wow.
right now that have to play with the guys because they don't have enough for a team. And we're gonna provide an opportunity for them to skate with our team and practices and stuff, so they can play with girls and see what it's like to play on an all women's team. We're gonna start putting on some events, some try hockey for free events. We're gonna work with Piranhas to get some adult gear available, so we can give the opportunities for some female veterans to play the game, and hopefully we'll achieve that goal. And the Rosies are invested in our process as well, and we're going to have a fun event coming up at one of our games when we finally get it. We've been waiting for our new unis So as our new unis are supposed to arrive next week, and then one of our home games, the Rosies are going to come out. We're going to do a nice commemorative event. It's a nice way for us to give back and bring recognition to the veteran community. And then the other caveat to what we've done is we now have over 20 players in our organization that are coaching youth hockey at some level. The other thing that we wanted to do with our program for years is eliminate any obstacles for girls to get into coaching after college. So we pay for their USA Hockey coaching certification. We pay for their background check, which you have to do every other year to be a youth sports coach, and provide. And now we have a channel within our girls. We have 50 girls that play in our organization. And what that means, we have two different teams. We have a lot of part-time girls that only play once in a while. We take two teams to nationals, a tier 1 and a tier 2 team, and in the 21 and over division. But amongst all of those girls, or women, I should say, because they're all adults now, over 20 of them are coaching. And from the NC, we have girls coaching the NCAA, girls coaching the ACHA, and then girls coaching high school and youth hockey. And we want to continue to grow that because I told you I've been coaching the women's game 29 years. And I will be happy to step aside when there are experienced women coaches that are ready to take on the reins of coaching girls. I'm happy to be an assistant coach, but I'm a firm believer in that we have reached that stage where it's time to provide those opportunities. And we've got so many great girls in our organization that are doing it now. And they're doing a great job. And it's something that we're really proud of. And we're just going to continue to do that and grow it. Our big goal would be to add a 30 and over team too. So then our girls, as they get older, they can play on the 30 and over team. We'll keep getting new players in, and build something really, really long that has longevity and
Yeah.
has a real impact both in the veteran hockey community and the girls youth hockey community.
Wow. Brad, your
Wow.
philanthropic angle that you've been able to interweave into everything you do is truly commendable because you're not just coaching, you're making it accessible, you're building the foundation for what comes next. And I don't know about you, Megan, but we got to go to this event.
I was going to say, when can we come see the ladies play?
Yeah, you got to send
Yeah,
us the
so
schedule.
yep, I'll definitely get you the info once we have it scheduled. Like I said, it's kind of contingent on us having our new uniforms. So once we get those, because we're still wearing our little Caesars jersey. We
Okay.
just played yesterday. We just had a game yesterday and won 4-2. But we're still wearing our little Caesars stuff. And so as soon as we get our new unis, we get that event scheduled. We have another cool event. We're playing Lawrence Tech's women's
Okay.
college team December 6th, and it's a
Okay.
Toys for Tots event as well. So
Perfect.
I'll get you guys that information and you can share it with whomever you think would be interested.
Absolutely. It's awesome.
You know we're going to
Exciting.
ask being hockey style,
Uh-oh.
but Rosie's is probably Rosie the Riveters, the best name I've heard for a female team. Love it. But what do the jerseys look like? Are they a surprise or can we know?
They are not a surprise. If we do have a Facebook page, Motor City
Okay.
Riveters.
Okay.
And if you we'll do the low tech again, but I'll send you the image. So
Okay.
when you're doing
We'll
your
post
editing,
it.
hey, I'm all about it. But so I don't know if it'll work, but so
Oh,
Oh,
perfect.
it's so
I
good.
was hoping
so
you'd have yeah.
red, white, and blue, and the logo is just stellar. And
Mhm.
Nate from the Michigan Warriors is the one that came up with the logo. Um, and that is the
Perfect.
Detroit skyline behind
Perfect.
Rosie.
Oh, yes.
So yeah, it's super exciting, and it kind of came out of the blue. We've done some charity events with them in the past, and had played some exhibition games against the Warriors men's team, and they're just phenomenal human beings. And we were just trying to decide what we were going to do this year, and literally the same day I had a conversation with our leadership, I got a text from Chris Salters and from their organization was like, "Hey, can we jump on a Zoom? We've got an idea." And
Perfect.
I'm a firm believer in everything happens for a reason and the universe and energy and things like that. And I just think that that was something that was meant to be, which is what makes it even more exciting, because I'm pretty sure it's going to be a long relationship, and we're really going to have the opportunity to have a real impact in the hockey community. So super exciting. Love to have
Awesome.
have you both out to our
Absolutely.
event, and so you can go back and report how much fun it is.
Yes.
You can count on it. We may even have to get some jerseys.
Yeah.
Those are awesome.
That's the next
We will
thing,
be able,
merch.
we can do that.
Love
Not
it.
like you need another jersey, you know? I mean, look
Hey,
at
we
all of them.
always need another
I
jersey.
know,
The
I know.
problem is
Yeah.
while we're diehard Red Wings fans, we just love hockey so much that then it's like we cheer for so many other,
Hmm.
that's how this happened.
I just want to wait. You're going to be in one of your live podcasts, and that bar is just going to give, and
Oh,
all
it
the
is. It is.
jerseys are just going to go down.
It is giving. It is giving already. It needs a sturdier bar. But they're half my husband's, half mine. Actually, no.
Okay,
They're
there you go.
20% my husband's, 80% mine, I'll be honest. But at least there's
Okay,
a small section that I don't
okay.
have to claim.
I'm
Anyway,
responsible for everything behind me. It's all my
yeah,
fault.
yeah.
There's 2 more lockers over here.
So are you getting, so what, whose glove is that back there? Is that an Aussie glove, or yeah, the
I
Vaughn glove?
was a big fan of Jimmy Howard's
Oh, okay.
icebergs.
All right.
And those were just another version of Kevin Hodgson's pads, which that's what those
Mm,
are. They're
Yeah.
his original icebergs. Not
what
original, but
pads do
like
I
a
have?
set of them. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I
Nice.
just have, sadly, I think I just have Vaughn, but I won't say who they belong to because we're not mentioning
You're
his
not
name
allowed
on
to
the
say that
pod.
name. No.
Well, it's funny. No, 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 not at all. But it is funny to when I go back and I look retro, because Brian's has been around since 1984, and
Hmm.
Ozzy wore some Brian's pads at some point in his career, and
Mhm.
you'll all remember Manny Legacy was a
Yes.
Brian's guy when he was with the Red Wings. So we do have some good history with the team. It's just the recent last few years, it's just been Magnus. But I
Yeah.
actually play hockey with the Breakfast Club, which is the group of guys that
Yes.
work for Olympia. We skate every
Yeah.
Tuesday. I'll be skating tomorrow morning at 6:30
Yeah.
down at Little Caesars. And
So cool.
so a lot of those mornings it works out great, because I'll skate and then I'll just leave my stuff in the hallway, and then I'll just walk around the corner and wait for one of our players to arrive for the morning skate, and do my meet and greet, and then grab my stuff and head home. So the hockey community is amazing in
It
every
really
aspect.
is. For sure. For sure.
A day in the life of Brad Johnson
Mm,
is a very fun day in the life if you're a hockey fan. I love it. You get off the ice, you talk about equipment,
mhm.
you go coach, you cheer on the ladies. Just doesn't get any better. So,
I'm blessed. I definitely am. I think it's all been good for us to take a look in the mirror and count our blessings in life. And you're never going to hear me and say that I got it rough right now. That's for sure.
oh, you have a good outlook. Well, I know we have to wrap up relatively soon, but Megan, I don't want to cut you off. Did you have anything else you wanted to cover?
Nothing super specific. I think that was perfect. I'm just really excited to get to a game now for the Riveters. I think that's going to be really fun.
Yeah. And your ladies must be pretty pumped up this year too. What do they think about are they fans of Jessica Campbell with the Seattle Kraken being, having the spotlight on her as the first female NHL coach, and the PWHL coming in, with more expansion teams just announced?
Yeah. I mean, they're definitely excited about the PW, and we all are. The
Yeah.
PWHL is doing such a great job. And they're growing, but they're not growing too fast, which I think is really important. And we do have a player on our team that played in the previous professional version. She played for the Connecticut Whale. So she's got friends who are playing in the league currently. And I have goaltenders I work with in the PWHL. And we talk in our coaching clinic. I just we one of our segments, we talk about the rule change at USA Hockey. And I don't know how much PWHL hockey you two have had the chance to watch yet, but they have what's called the jailbreak rule in the PWHL, which I would love to see them implement in all pro hockey. And that is, if you score a shorthanded goal, the person in
Yes.
the penalty box comes out.
Yes.
And so you
Completely
get
agree.
that added incentive to not just dump the puck the length of the ice when you're on the penalty kill, but actually jump up and try to create scoring opportunities. And it's great for the game, and it makes those games even more exciting to watch with things like that. But they've added body contact and body checking to the P-Dub, and so that's going to have to trickle down to the NCAA and girls hockey as well. I just think it's a great time to be a hockey fan. It is a different game, and some people won't get into women's hockey, and I challenge them. You need to give it another chance, and you need to watch some more, because it is a different game, but it's a more pure game. It's more about passing systems and team play, and it's a really good product. They're doing a great job.
I didn't know it was called the jailbreak rule, but I remember watching that and
Yep.
saying, I mean, they need to do this elsewhere. It's
Yeah.
genius, really. But anyway, the
So in the
ladies are
youth
always a step
level,
ahead.
yeah, in the youth, they are. And in the youth level, we changed the rules so kids, if you ice the puck on a penalty kill, it's icing. And then they have a defensive zone face-off. And we didn't used to have that in youth hockey. And our intent of changing that rule was so our kids and our coaches would work harder to not just be your go-to is dump the puck the length of the ice. You want to find openings. You want to get the puck out and maybe get a scoring opportunity. And so it's a natural transition that we've been doing that for 5 or 6 years now. You see at the women's pro, they're doing the jailbreak. So I would
Yeah.
love to see it in NCAA men's, junior and pro. You don't want to do it at the youth level because you'll get some games where there's an imbalance of talent and a jailbreak
Okay.
wouldn't be fair. So I don't
Okay.
think in youth it's the right place. But I absolutely think once all things are equal, it should be at every level where the teams are on equal standing, because it's exciting. It adds an extra element to the game, and you'll see a lot more goals scored.
Well, you've certainly got us excited. Even if we could be more excited about hockey, I think after this chat, we are. It's safe to say you replaying and describing the game winner shoot. Like I got actual goosebumps as if I was watching it. So I hope we can stay in touch. I want to hear how all of your new equipment is being integrated into the league and all of your great philosophies, because it sounds like with leadership like yours, uh, hockey's moving in a positive direction. So
I'm There's a lot of us fighting the good fight, but I'm happy to be a part of it.
good. We are so glad you took time to talk to us in between hockey work and hockey coaching. So,
Oh, I gotta buy Joe and Zach a beer for them referring me to you, because
oh
otherwise,
yeah,
and this was fantastic. I had a blast, and they're
good,
such
good.
such good guys. I should buy them a beer anyways, but
They are. They
but
really are.
still, I'm really glad that they mentioned me to you, because this was really enjoyable.
Oh,
Oh, I'm
good.
so glad. Yes. Well, we'll keep in touch, and you'll probably see our faces at upcoming Riveters events. So we will keep in touch and look forward to talking with you
Fantastic.
again soon, Brad. Take care.
Okay, thanks.
See you later. Welcome to the third period.
I want to have Brad back 10 more times, because we could have deep dive into Rosie's, into Brian's, into the future of goaltending and
Yeah.
up and coming hockey player goalies. So much to talk about with him.
Amazing. Yeah. I want to live that life. Like, sign me up. Let's do it. He truly gets to talk to hockey like 24/7.
Yes. Yeah. But how innovative the pads. I had never even thought about that being a hindrance to kids to try goaltending, but absolutely. I think he nailed it.
Yeah, I thought it was such a brilliant concept, and in reading about it, they were discussing how, if someone shows up at an event where you're learning to play goalie, you've made that decision that you're interested and you want to see. But that's like not the person that you need to get to. You need to get to the people that haven't tried, haven't had an opportunity to try. It hasn't been easy, and that's going to happen at those learn to play events. And it's so smart that they're incorporating a goalie station into those events. I mean, what a great idea.
Yes. I'm excited to attend a Riveters game with
Me
you.
too. Oh my gosh.
We may need to customize our Riveters jerseys to say like hockey style. Wouldn't that be
Whatever
cute?
whatever the options are, I'm there for it. Yeah, absolutely.
We'll post a picture on Instagram. If you're not following us, it's at Hockey Style Podcast. I know we did a lot of visual things in this
Yeah.
episode. So if you're listening to audio only, don't worry. You can check Instagram later and we will share. But they are the iconic Rosie the Riveter icon. And the background is actually the skyline of Detroit, which is just so well done. We love it.
It really is. Yeah.
Speaking of themes,
Yeah.
I think today's hockey style tip should be about the big event.
Yes, because we are rapidly approaching Halloween.
Yes. The reason for the awkward pause is because I'm like, when does this episode drop and when is Halloween? But essentially tomorrow.
Yes.
Tomorrow, when you are listening to this episode, will be Halloween. Today, as the episode drops, will be Devil's Night. And that means we can finally divulge our themed Halloween costumes.
Yes.
You can do the honors.
This has been in the works for more months than I even can recall.
February, March, maybe?
I don't know, but our theme this year actually got slightly more specific, and it is the NHL mascots of the West.
Yes, just Western Conference NHL mascots.
Yes.
That leaves us open to another year to do Eastern Conference NHL mascots.
Look out, everybody. It's only going to get worse.
If you're wondering why we waited until the day before Halloween to tell you all about what we've been working on, we were really concerned that there would be a ton of ladies running around town dressed as Harvey the Hound and Wild Wing.
Yes.
No, just kidding.
I mean,
Megan,
who
tell them
wouldn't want
about
to be Harvey the Hound? Well, I feel like before we deep dive into that, we have to say that the boys also have their own mascots. So Brennan is going to be Nordy.
Yes.
And the Minnesota Wild.
My husband Topher is going to be Mickey Moose from the Winnipeg Jets. But we can't forget your nephews.
What are the
fur
nephews
babies?
Tell everybody.
Preston is going to be S.J. Sharkey from San Jose. And Pavel is going to be Bailey the Lion from the LA Kings. So
perfect.
I and my boys have the California teams covered. And we've got Winnipeg, Calgary, and Minnesota. So we'll be a motley crew.
We will. We absolutely will. So I guess should we just show the Harvey head?
So if you don't know Harvey the Hound, probably most of our listeners do. But I just am going to give my 2 cents real quick, unsolicited.
Hey now. Take it easy.
You know where I'm going already.
I don't know where you're going.
I'll be nice. Harvey the Hound is the oldest mascot in the NHL. Fun fact.
He sure is.
And let's just say it's obvious when you see him.
I don't think,
I don't know, maybe he's nostalgic to some, but his costume has not evolved over
Can you
years.
say for certain that you know that, though? Because I don't know that I've seen the original Harvey the Hound. Maybe I have. I don't know. Doesn't matter.
That's true. Well, if he has evolved, he still looks like he's from many decades ago.
Well, he is my absolute favorite mascot because he's a little ridiculous. But he's my favorite. I love him. And he was robbed this year for the Mascot Hall of Fame, I just want to say.
It went to S.J. Sharkey.
Anyways. I do love S.J. Sharkey, but
yeah.
Harvey deserves this. So I debated so hard about how I was going to do my interpretation of Harvey the Hound. And I feel like the important part of this look and this costume is his eyes. There's a very specific thing going on. They're basically giant googly eyes. And they're blue, but they're blue still.
But they don't have pupils.
Husky. No, they don't.
No. He is a husky.
He's a husky. So I realized that I needed to have a whole head because we can't put googly eyes on me. So again, apologies for holding it up to the camera. We will obviously post pictures of this on Halloween or, the day after so everybody can really see what happened here. But I have my Harvey the Hound and it was a husky hat and I made his googly eyes out of insane makeshift things. But I'm really proud of him. And
I'm proud of you.
And, also the other thing about Harvey is the insanely long tongue, which there's a funny story about his tongue that we can maybe discuss at some point. That sounds
Wait,
weird.
I don't know the story. You just told me it.
Well, yeah, I don't remember exactly who, what, when, where, and why, and I don't want to butcher it.
Okay, fine.
I just the specific event that happened. Someone ripped his tongue out.
Oh my God. Well,
But
it's like a
because
2-foot long tongue, right?
yes, and I tried to recreate
Oh
that.
boy.
It's very long, but since it'll be hanging in my face when I wear this hat, it is also attaches with Velcro, so I can take a break if I need to.
It's
But
unbelievable.
his googly eyes are there. He has his bucket hat, which is also essential to the outfit.
Mhm.
And then the rest of his outfit, I'm going to have to just sort of do my loose interpretation of, because Harvey just wears red pants essentially without a shirt. So we won't be doing that. So the outfit
no
will
sexy Harvey the Hound.
right. The outfit will include a jersey and some sort of red bottoms. But yeah, I just that the head, I'm pretty proud of his little
Yes.
googly-eyed head there. That's my Harvey.
And his
So-
hat is so good because you actually found a Flames bucket hat with embroidered gold hockey sticks. Like, it's
I sure
actually really
did.
cute.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I don't mean to laugh because in all seriousness, you nailed it. I'm
Thank
so
you.
proud of your crafting skills.
I'm proud of it. I'm proud of Harvey. Yes.
I'm excited for him to see it. We'll have to tag him on Instagram. But I giggle because you're such a cute lady, and of all the costumes you could be, it's like Harvey the Hound is
There is no
probably the
question.
least cute.
The second it came up, I will be Harvey. I will find a way.
Yeah. Oh, well. So I don't know that this is much cuter, but I am being Wild Wing. And if you have watched any of our episodes, it needs no explanation. But if you're new here, it is because he is the only goaltender mascot in the NHL. And of course, I was going to be the Tendy mascot, but I
Mhm.
also love him. I grew up as a Mighty Ducks kid and remember when the Mighty Ducks were born and eventually became the Anaheim Ducks. But I just always loved the mascot, the little duck. So currently, I am still putting together his goalie pads. We will see.
TikTok, ma'am.
We will see how they turn
Did
out.
you
I'm not
finish
a sewer.
his mask?
His mask is good. His mask really needed no major alterations. So,
Nice.
yeah, I'm good there. So we'll see how it comes together.
You didn't
But
need
I
googly eyes.
I did not need googly eyes. You would have been the one I turned to had I.
Mhm.
I also just thought of something really funny that we didn't even consider. I have 2 Pomskis, which are half Huskies, and you are dressing as a Husky, but we're dressing the Husky dogs as a shark and a lion.
Of course.
Instead of just making the Husky dog the Husky.
I already took Harvey the Hound.
We like a challenge here.
He cannot. They
hockey
can't
style.
be. They can't be Harvey. I'm
You-
older. I get first pick.
Oh,
I'm the
well,
auntie.
you're gonna do a great job. All right. So if you're wondering where the heck we are wearing these costumes, we just have a private party. Can we call it that? Sounds
Yeah,
chicer.
we're having a card party.
We're having a soiree and hockey cards are involved. So it is a very hockey style on brand evening. We will report back next week. But drop a comment and let us know how you're celebrating Halloween and if you too have ever had a hockey themed costume. Of course, we need to hear all the details and see some pictures. So please share. If you haven't yet followed, what are you doing? Subscribe wherever you listen to the podcast. We're so glad you're part of the Hockey Style community. We love that you listen and hang out with us and want to hear from you. Who do you want to hear on the pod? What do you like? What would you like to hear more of? So don't be shy to reach out wherever you listen or on Instagram at Hockey Style Podcast. Go ahead and give us a like, and we will keep dropping episodes every Thursday.
See you later.
Happy Halloween.